What's going on? How's it going? Hope you guys are enjoying your day so far. This is Angelo Bash, the entertainment channel. Hope you guys are excited and ready to dive into Kraven the Hunter. And the interesting fact about this is that, Sony has been on this mission on making superhero movies. I mean, this goes way back to like when they first, before Marvel Cinematic Universe took over the superhero genre and how they wanted to form superhero films. Sony's been really pushing their own versions of things with Venom, their own Spider-Man, which eventually led into the MCU version. And of course, the big saga of the three Spider-Mans, Andrew Garfield, and of course my Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. Yes, so this is just gonna be a short little review about my thoughts about the film and how I felt while I was watching it, because I really wanted to see it. But the way that everything has been going with streaming services, I haven't been eager as much as I wanted to in the past. I love film. I love watching movies. I will spend the whole day in a movie just to watch different types of films, just to see them, in the whole ambiance and the. But, ever since, I stopped working as a server in the AMC Disney Theater, and, with streaming service taking a hit when COVID was taking the initiative during COVID times, honestly, I prefer it being seen in my own comfort, in my own home. And, for the longest time, I only gonna go out to see the movies that I truly, truly want to see with that atmosphere. But side note, we're going back to my review for Crave. Now, how I review films is maybe a little bit different than most critics do. I do see the critic reviews and I see all the stuff that's being posted, and this is my thoughts as a critic for myself, as an entertainer, actor, and a filmmaker. Craven Hunter was fantastic from the moment I saw it to the undeniable end. And the interesting thing I really love to see is how, because now Sony has gained X-Men and mutants, they haven't explained it yet. Or they haven't I mean, they did Spider-Man and there was talk of bringing Venom in there. And the same thing could be said for the Craven Hunter. But just so you guys know, if you guys haven't already know and you're dying to know, it's not officially part of the shared universe, at least at this present time. This was basically Sony's last standalone villain film that separated from Sony's Spider-Man franchise, which includes Morbius, Madam Web, and the Venom trilogy. But for the most part, for all my comics fans out there was a little bit of the realism of it feeling like comic, but not really. There was no relations in the comics, maybe the names, the places. But remember, this is the writers and directors that are taking their vision on how they see the project. Sometimes they can take from what's already been established, but in order for them to get some type of credit, they have to make some adjustments. And that's why a lot of fans don't like when they make fan films, especially like superheroes, cartoons, stuff like that, because they feel like it loses a sense of identity, or they don't do it the way, at least keeping the traditional values or traditional things that make the character who they are, you know. But for this film, it did a pretty good job on at least explaining in a different view. It is not related to the comics because if you guys remember, if you're all my comic fans, I know you are so into the comics that you're gonna think that the film is gonna take every single thing. There are some things that were not mentioned from the comics, like for example, his character. His character looks completely different. If you actually waited to the end, I'm not gonna give spoilers. I may give a few spoilers because I explain my point. But the Craven Hunter didn't really get his outfit or get his actual symbol into the very end when his father dies and he meets his brother who turns out to be Chameleon, which is related to the comics. But for a lot of you guys that don't know Craven Hunter, he's basically like a supervillain that Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, which made a first appearance in the Amazing Spider-Man number 15, August 1964. He's basically been this adversary for Spider-Man for the longest time, because of the fact that he's a dangerous. He's a hunter. He wants to be the strongest person out there and the strongest hunter in the world, who actually can catch anybody that you do. And so I feel like the way that the direction of the film went, it went in a really good way, which I enjoyed the movie. I do give this movie, five, 5 to 5 stars. So the rating would, in my opinion, would be at least a 3 out of 5 stars. And that's not bad for films because most time films fall into 4 to 3 category because of certain aspects that we're looking for. But for the most part, I enjoyed the film. It kept me on my seats. Plus, the one thing that I love when you're telling a story or you're doing some storyboarding and all that stuff is the immersive of how the character becomes the attainable power or the attainable thing that the tangent that makes them who they are as heroes, as villains. So like it was really good. It wasn't fast paced. It built up to the moment. And it also introduced other characters that probably weren't in the original comic. But for the most part, it kept to the original idea of what the characters' philosophies in terms of like comics. So there you go, comic fans. But I do enjoy the Kraven series because, I mean, the Kraven series. Wow, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I'm telling you this right now that Aaron Taylor Johnson did a phenomenal job. He did a superb job in portraying Kraven, and though his acting ability is really good. Because the thing about these when you're playing anti-heroes is that sometimes people don't realize that you have to go outside the law to do certain things because the law doesn't protect it. The law does what it does, but sometimes if there's a lot of things that fall through the crack. But for a film that budgeted between 110 to 130 million, the box office was a pretty much flop, 62 million. But you know, I'm gonna be doing a little bit more reviews and get more in depth with with the character of this series. But for the most part, I enjoyed everything that was on the film. It kept me on my seat. It engaged me in a. So for someone that has not always been a comic fan, I enjoyed the film. It was everything that I was looking for in keeping it paying homage from it paid homage to the characters from the comics previous stuff, but it also had an elaborate storytelling that was so compelling that it made it stand alone. So in that aspect, that's why I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. But let me know what you guys think about the film. Comments below. If you guys haven't already, please go down, scroll to the bottom, and click the subscribe button on my channel. I'll be giving you guys later things, maybe talking more in depth. If you guys want me to talk more in depth about more thoughts without revealing things, if anyone hasn't seen it, even though it came out last year, but like I said, I haven't been really trying to go to theaters that much, only for certain films. So I've been waiting for it to come to streaming service. So maybe my reviews will be a little bit late, but it's okay because got to start somewhere. And the fact of the matter is that Mother Russia. And the funny thing is, I was gonna assume that they were going to bring Mother Russia into this thing, but it was interesting. Like it did like a flip version where you just gotta watch the film. Watch it. Let me know what your thoughts. Thank you guys so much.